live now. I gotta see on my phone here if it's gonna work. Let's see. No. Waiting for Gordon Tarpley is what it says here. Let's see. And sometimes there's the delay. It says it's streaming. Hopefully I've selected the right one. Interesting. Let me try this again. We're back out. Select my stream. It's working. Sometimes it does that. You can hear my voice. I sound like a frog. I got sick. So, oh gosh. Let's see. Setting on my phone so I can see the messages. I'm gonna lean into my sick voice a little bit. All right, let's get drone started. All right, this is going. I just went to plug this in a minute ago, right beforehand, and it froze my camera up. It was really weird. I think when the controller isn't on, or if I plug it into the wrong USB slot, it crashes out my camera while I'm running the OBS Studio. Yay! All right. I can hear myself on here. I gotta turn my volume down on my phone here, so I don't listen to myself in delay, because that's terrible. All right, I might do a kind of a short one today. It is 8:02 right now. I'm gonna go for half an hour. If I'm feeling it in 30 minutes, then I'll stick around longer. But it's my voice is slightly toasty, so talking is a little it's a little bit much. Let's see. What am I seeing here? Have it on the game. Ooh, do I have the game open? There we go. All right. Let's see what we have going on here. Boom. Head in here. And the single player. Continue. All of these times playing around with this, I have not done. I haven't changed drones or hardly anything with this. So we check the dynamic poly world and see what week 07 Motor League Church. Let's try this one. Probably done this before, but I don't know. Oh my God, look at that. It started me out crashing. Oh yeah, this one's pretty cool. This is another one. I haven't flown in a few days, so let's see. I was watching videos of FPV stuff today, and I saw one where they were doing like a really slow flip and then hovering upside down and flipping, so they'd be like this. And on all the settings I've ever used on here, when I flip upside down, it's essentially, it doesn't hover upside down. And I feel like there must be a setting to reverse the motors or something beyond a certain point, which is interesting. So I gotta look into that because it was cool. It was very cool. Yeah, this board is kind of neat. Oh my God. Right up to the ceiling. And here we go again. So, as you may have noticed, I missed Tuesday. That was my drone day, and I went to I've been doing improv theater classes, which is kind of like it basically is like improv but dramatic. So my classes are on Tuesday night, and yesterday was my second class out of 6, and it was fun, but I get home pretty late from that. It ends at 10 o'clock, and it's literally like an hour away. Neil, how you doing? And so the class is like an hour away, so I get home about 11, and I was like, I'll fly when I get home, and it'll be great. But then I started to feel like I was coming down with something. I got home, and I was feeling kind of rough, and actually I felt it the day before a little bit, and then yesterday I went on a hike. Sorry, no, Tuesday we went on a hike at Griffith Park, and then I went to the class, and it was great. But then Wednesday I felt just real bad. I haven't felt so crappy in a while. I was sort of I just laid around all day, and every time I'd stand up, I had about zero concentration. So I just couldn't get anything accomplished feasibly. So I took a break, which is not my normal thing. Today I didn't feel great, and I still did stuff all day long. I did ZBrush, had a bunch of stuff done around the house, and then um, I'm probably 65% better from yesterday. And then that was it. Let's see here. Isn't dramatic improv just D&D? Yeah, pretty basically. Hello, Kevin. Yeah, it's basically uses like the same kind of improv techniques you do for like the comedic improv, but it's essentially like improving plays and stuff. So they do plays in the style of Tennessee Williams or Chekhov or Shakespeare, and it's like learning how to like push the story forward. It's more than just like making little gags and stuff. You just you really like create like a whole play. You have to have create the story and stuff with a bunch of people that are also just making it up as they go. So you never know what's going to turn out. Anyway, I've watched it a ton of times. It's really fun. Yeah, 65% better is still good. It's way, but I mean, today I was like on my feet most of the day doing stuff. I took like a little break around 1 o'clock. I kind of felt like a little farty, and then I took another break, maybe like an hour and a half ago, and now I'm up again. And they're going to be doing a SpaceX launch tonight at Vandenberg. So I think it's at like 11:30 or 11:45 or something. So it's fun to watch the shuttle launch, or the shuttle launch is the rockets launch. It's really cool. So I'm gonna try to catch that. And I took like an hour-long nap a little while ago, so I'll probably be pretty awake for a bit. And then tomorrow I gotta go to Van Nuys, and I'm basically modeling for some tattoos, like some really like Russian prison tattoos kind of thing, like with one of the studios. They do a lot of stuff for like Westworld and all that stuff. And excuse me. So they asked if I could come in model some tattoos, and they got like a huge back piece and a chest piece and like big old leg tattoos, and they're all like, you know, uh, really unsavory kind of things, but it's interesting. It's like not the kind of stuff I would want to like put on my Instagram page. You know what I mean? So, like, what kind of like prison gang member are you? And then yeah, we're doing that, and then we're going to see a show somewhere, an improv show actually. Should be pretty fun. What show are we seeing tomorrow, Natalie?
It's an improv show at the Elysian.
Okay.
At Edie's
The improv show at the Elysian. That's what Natalie said. That's tomorrow night. So that should be pretty cool. So hopefully I'm feeling good enough to do all this stuff tomorrow. I'm not like gonna get everybody sick. I feel like I sound worse than I feel today. Whereas yesterday I felt real bad. Today I feel like I don't want to go running or anything, but I feel like productive, which is good. Which is good. Squeaky voice. And I'm pretty sure I picked this up from Alec Gillis when I did their St. Patrick's Day party, which was on Friday, the 14th. And Alec Gillis was like, "I got a little sore throat thing. Don't want to get you sick, you know." And then I talked to him a bunch, and now I got sick. So probably where I picked it up. Oh my gosh. Yep. And look at this. And wow, it's like I'm hitting stuff, but I'm not quite crashing out yet. There's like a lot of little places to fly down here, and how they connect is pretty cool. Oh my god, look at this little narrow way. Oh my god. Jeez, dude. That's pretty fun. Let's see. Gonna try the open duckling droid mini build. Supposed to be around $400 to get it to walk, like your video of you and Natalie walking up to the observatory. Like your video. Oh, yeah. That that video is always fun. I don't know if you noticed, but anytime I go up there, I always have to stop at the orbit of Uranus little plaque in the ground. I guess there's technically two of those plaques. There might be. I'm squeaking again. There might be three of them. God, I wonder if this is what Steve-O's voice feels like. Uh, yeah, there might be three of them actually, but there's one that I always stop at, so I have to visit it every time. Orbit of Uranus. Also, the mini duckling droids look really cool, and I just saw a thing that Nvidia is working with Disney on in. I guess they're like upgrading those duckling droids, and they're going to have even newer processors and stuff, um, which is pretty crazy. And I saw some other video of those little duckling droids that looked pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, I got to get really close to those duckling droids for a decent amount of time. So I've like really looked at them. So it's it was informative. I'll just say that. And it's really crazy the way that they're trained too. Like the ones at the parks, they're trained in a simulator, and they just let them run around and like bump into things and figure out how to not fall over in a simulator, and then basically from there it's they can just plug that right into the robots, and the robots now they know how to do all this stuff. It's very very cool. It's such a neat way to train them. What's crazy is I don't know if you've seen any other training videos for some of these other robots, but they've got like these robot trainers, and it's like looks like the inside of a warehouse. It looks kind of like decent level video game graphics inside there. Um, and the robots just walk around and they learn how to like interact with people, and people are just doing their own things, and the robots are basically like walking around them trying to figure out how to not crash into stuff and hurt people by accident and that kind of stuff. um, Uranus Fudge Factory in Missouri. I heard about that. So did you tell me about that? Somebody told me about that, um, and I was like, that's like a real place. That's amazing. Um, but yeah, the way they train these robots is crazy. Now there's like, apparently they're trying to. This company's working on like a universal robot training simulator where you can basically build a robot, all the parts, and as long as all the motors and all the stuff are hooked up, the program will figure out what the sensors are and kind of like the shape of the robot, and it will start simulating with it and help it figure out how to move in the world, and it's pretty nuts. Hey, I'm in Kansas, about to go to Planet City Comic Con. Oh wow, are you going there? Is that tonight, or are you going tomorrow? I'm gonna be at WonderCon next weekend in Anaheim, and I got a pass, and I thought my friend Victor got it for me because sometimes I'll get them through like the R2 Builder group, and I got this message from WonderCon like, your pass is, here's your thing for, whatever, like industry professional, whatever the thing was. I was like, cool. And I go, and I figured Victor sent it, and then like 2 days later, Victor writes me, and he goes, "Hey, did you want to go to WonderCon?" I was like, "Yeah," and he goes, "I tried to get you a pass, but it said you're already registered." So somebody else registered me, and now I'm like, "Oh man, did somebody ask me to do a panel or something, and I forgot about it?" I legitimately do not know if I agreed to something and have completely forgotten about it. I mean, it could be something I said yes to like 8 months ago, and I searched my brain like, what did I agree to? But I have a pass to WonderCon, which is great. So I'll be there. I'm gonna bring a bunch of those the IG-88 heads castings with me. If I can sell like 3 of them, which shouldn't be a problem. But if I can sell 3 of them um, on site, it'll be worth my time to go down there, because I got to make a little bit of money over the weekend if I can, because I got to go to Japan in next month. Less than a month away, I'll be in Japan for Star Celebration, so that'll be pretty wild. uh, it's this weekend. That is cool. Is there Kansas City? I've never been to Kansas City. um, yeah, I would like to go check out some of those other conventions and Midwest kind of stuff. It sounds fun. How far is Kansas City from Colorado? Do you like fly out there? Or can you drive it? I was I did a podcast with this woman Nilda, and she had mentioned to me that there's some other like Star Wars kind of convention thing, and I think it's in Texas. And she said she was going to try to get me connected with the people there, and I would love to do that. Sounds really fun, but I gotta see if they'll like set it up. I mean, if they cover the basics and put me up and fly me out, um, I would totally do that. But I have to see. I have to see how it goes. um, yeah, and then let's see what the heck else is going on this weekend. I'm doing a 3PO thing. I was really, really wanted to use my new shorts that I made, and I just felt so crappy yesterday that I couldn't work on them, and I really needed to do basically like base layer yesterday, ultra lumen today, and then really let them dry, and then like kind of like heat them for a little bit just to really get the cake in, and then tomorrow would be like clear coat day, and then wear them Saturday, which is still kind of like a quick turnaround, but that was kind of the window that would work. And I'm like, maybe I could still go crazy and do like a clear coat and do an all clad pass, and then just do like a generic gold on them just to wear them. I feel like the way the event is, it's not gonna matter. It's not like some official photo shoot or something where I really want the shorts to be like perfect. But if I just want to wear them and see how they feel. If you have a good alignment on your car, you can pretty much just take your left the wheel a long way. Wow, 8 hours. That's crazy. Oh, geez, dude. CB, that guy, what a piece of shit. The I wonder what the heck the deal is over there. I think the only other conventions I've done like outside, I've been to a bunch of the ones in Florida when I lived there, and then I did like Celebration in Chicago. I traveled for that one. Went to the one in Florida after I lived in LA. I did a Celebration in Florida in 2019 maybe. Um, and then I did like Salt Lake City Comic Con with Regal Robot, and then I've done a bunch of the California, like Southern California, like San Diego, LA Comic Con, WonderCon, um, what was the other one? There's a couple that are here, um, but I haven't done many of the outer seas. Oh, I did Rhode Island Comic Con in like a long time ago, 2013 or something, and that was I really enjoyed that one. That was like a very fun convention. Um, I pretty much have fun anytime I go to a convention. I think they're a good time. I kind of don't know if I would want to be a person that had to go to all of them. You know, like when you're a vendor and you just go to every single convention. I feel like it would start to get old if you just had to be in a booth all the time. But it's more fun if you get to walk around and do stuff. LA Comic Con, yeah, LA Comic Con is what do they call it? It was it used to be called something else, and it's I guess it's in conjunction with San Diego Comic Con. Like the same people put it on. But that one's a good one. It happened last one. I think it's in July, if I remember correctly. And the last one I missed because I was crewing for Badwater, and was I crewing for Badwater? Or was it in October? No, it's in October. I was crewing for it wasn't when I was crewing for Badwater. I take it back. I was wrong. I think it was when I was doing the Wild Wild West 50-mile ultra marathon, and that is on a Saturday, and the convention is the same weekend. And I thought maybe I would go back and then go to the convention on Sunday, but I was just freaking exhausted. My body was like, "That's enough. You just ran 50 miles. You don't need to go to a convention tomorrow." Formerly Kamikaze. That's right. That's what the old one was. San Diego Comic Con was suing everyone for the. Yeah. That's right. That's right. That is so crazy that they would do that. It's like just chill out, San Diego. And San Diego Comic Con is super fun, and I'll probably be at that this year too. I might actually be working. I don't know. I talked to some people today, and there's like a potential gig coming up that might be working Comic Con, and I don't know yet. I won't probably know until July what the deal is, but it looks good. Like the chances are decent. So, oh my god, I didn't crash. That's cool. So we will see what the deal is with that. Um, and that'll be good because I need some work. It's been very slow. I got some other random stuff. I got another friend of mine contact me this morning and needs some digital stuff done. Which initially I'm like, it seems like 3D work, but then they got somebody 3D modeling all the stuff, and I'm like, I don't know exactly what I need to do for this thing that I'm doing. Like, I said yes, so like, yeah, I'll do that. The pay is pretty good, so I was like, I'll take that job, but I have no idea. It feels like they're gonna give me the models already, and then like, can you set them up for printing? And I'm like, okay. How big do they need to print? I'm thinking they're gonna be massive, and I'm gonna have to like break them up real carefully. And they're like, oh, they're gonna be like 9 inches by 9 inches, 9-inch cube kind of space. I was like, oh, uh, that's nothing. That's not even like that's nothing. I don't know what I got to do here. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. So I don't know if they need to like split them up and then we need. I don't know. It's really weird. I mean, all the models and stuff that they have are really simple too. I was like, if you need a model, they could probably model them and break them up and everything in like 2 days. And and they're like, yeah, they got these people modeling them, and this other place is gonna print them, so I don't have to worry about the printing. I don't have to worry about the modeling, but somehow I'm like in the middle. So cool. Excuse me. Oof, crashing everywhere. If you want to double up on being 3PO during these cons, I'd be happy to handle you. Oh, yeah, I would totally do that. Um, I would totally do that. And I want to, I'm basically like in the middle. I need to repaint my whole suit. Everything's beat up. I actually want to make another torso, basically a whole new suit, and then retire some of the pieces on my current suit and keep some of the pieces, but retire some of the pieces. Like I got good on. I like my arms now. I like my torso. I like the new shorts I just made, and I also like my other shorts that I sculpted. So I could work with either one of those depending on the material. But I think I'm gonna just, if my 3D printed shorts work great, I'm just gonna use those on everything because I love the way they fit already. Um, I was doing some cleanup on them today, and I'm like real happy. Oh, I did that thing that I was talking about where I cut the middle out in between the legs so that they have more flex, and that was awesome. So yeah, I kind of hit a point where I wasn't able to clean up more. But anyway, the whole point is I want to do um, a basically have two suits that I can rotate through, so I can just keep one like really nice, and then you know, and then have another one on standby, and then as I start to beat up the pieces on one, I can like just swap to the other suit. So, and I would like to eventually get to where my full suit is basically my newest version of 3D printed parts, where my current one is fiberglass, it's resin. Um, Sometimes I have the vacuum form shorts. The feet that I always wear with it are those fabricated feet that I've had forever, and they're just so beat up. And I think I'm going to do some printable feet, but I'm going to possibly make molds and actually properly do the feet out of resin once I get them figured out. And I'm going to do the printed feet where they're TPU based. They're kind of like the way Jesse's feet are set up. Like I liked it. I like the way the flatness on the bottom, but um, they'll print in maybe two pieces. So like the sole is a separate piece. So when you print it, the inside's fully open. This is something I want to do when I do the casting ones. The ones that were in the sequel suits are kind of, it looks like they're cast out of resin in two pieces, like a flexible urethane, not a urethane rubber, but like a flexible urethane resin. It's kind of like that difference, you know what I mean? Like one is rigid, but it has a little give, and one is rubbery, and it can be stiff, and it's sort of like a different feel. Um, and this is like, I don't know, it feels like pretty stiff resin. Anyway, it's two parts, and it looks like they have a core, so they can cast the top part of the foot, and then demold it, pop the core out, and the inside's nice and hollow. And then they have a casting of the tread part of the foot, and it looks like it's glued in. So when you look at it at the bottom, you can see around the edge of the foot, you can see the little seam between the sole of the shoe and the like the trim piece around the edge. Um, and I was trying to think of good ways where maybe I could like cast the top of the shoe, make sure it's all nice and clean, and then put the casting the top of the shoe into another mold and pour resin so it's physically bonded with the top, but it's cast in two pieces. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm basically making a whole new suit too in ultra lumen and flexible shorts. See, that's like I think kind of my jam. I think I want to do that for like conventions and stuff. I really want to make a suit that's like foam. And have you seen that TPU foamed TPU um, filament? And I think we talked about this before. It's really it has a consistency like a foam fabricated stuff EVA foam, but it's printable and it looks really good. And I was like, man, if I could make a whole suit out of that, I could probably put it on by myself, which would be freaking crazy. And it'd be so comfortable to walk around in. And with ultra lumen, it's just such an easier paint to use, and it's just nice to be able to have something that you don't have to like set up like a whole area and spray excess stuff everywhere. I love the spray chrome; it's really great. But just like the mess that you have to deal with all the time, and having like the runoff water, and like it just gets all over everything around it, and just stains all your stuff, and It'll get on your fingernails and it'll stain your fingernails for like 3 freaking weeks. It just doesn't come off, and it just gets all on everything. Verisure, yeah, that's the one. That is it. This stuff looks awesome. I was looking on Amazon just to see if there was like an alternative to it because the Verisure is pretty expensive. It's not. It's worth it. I think the price is worthwhile. Like I would buy it, but it's like I'm like, I bet you could find an alternative pretty cheap because it seems like once a filament does well, people will copy it and then they'll make some like $20 version on that you can find on Amazon versus like a $50 roll version. And if they make that stuff, holy cow, I would love to do just legs and shorts. Even if it's just legs and shorts out of that, be amazing. And then do like a PETG torso or something, but keep it kind of thin like how I did my shorts, so it's got like some give to it. Man, that would be nice. They just have the legs out of that foam, or even if I just did the thighs and the shorts out of the foam, or just the shorts. I mean, just the shorts would be fine, but the shorts, the thighs, honestly, the whole suit out of that stuff would be awesome. What time is it? 8:32. I've made it half an hour already. All right, cool. My voice sounds freaking bad. And when I go to do certain things, it wants to crack. um, this little weird church level is pretty fun to fly around, and there's a lot of stuff in here. Let's go explore. There's all these like little hallways and stuff down under here. Oh, bumping into things. Yeah, the Verisure looks so freaking good. And I want to make Flex PLA work easier to print. See, I would like to try that too. I haven't tried Flex PLA personally. I've got TPU here, and I gotta finish printing. Here goes my voice. I gotta finish printing the 8D8 droid. I've printed like I've got most of it done. I have to print the arms and a couple torso pieces. Like the way that the torso is set up is just like nightmarish amount of like whatever orientation you have. You either need like tons of infill or tons of support material, and I'm like, this just needs to be made differently. So I was trying to break it up a little bit in ZBrush, and I broke up the excuse me, I broke up the torso. But when I printed the pieces, it was like really cold in my shop one night because like you're working in my garage, and my printer's not enclosed, and I printed the pieces, and they all printed, but they of all the stuff I've printed so far on that printer, this is the only stuff that's got very warpy. Um, and I just think it's because it was so cold in the room that it was just in drafty that it was having trouble. So I got to reprint the torso, I think, which is a little bit of a dumb setback. But yeah, that's I got to do that. But also, I want to print 3PO parts, and I want to print. I have new RA7 parts for myself that I want to get done, that I'm excited about, and just all these droid pieces. But then I got TPU, and I'm like, should I? I started a pair of feet a long time ago. Like, I did a whole video on like doing like a I did a mold, like just showing how to do one in ZBrush like a few years ago, and I did a C3PO foot, and somewhere I'd done all this touch up on these printable feet, and I got to find those files because they're pretty close to ready to go, and I kind of want to make an adjustment to them and then try to print them in TPU and see how they are, because if I can scale them just a little bit, because Anthony Daniels' feet are just a little smaller than mine, so when I use the screen use size like rubber foot, it fits me but barely, like my heel wants to poke out of the back a little bit, so it's hard to really close it up properly, and if I do, my toes are just like couldn't be more scrunched in the front, so I need to make the foot like a little tiny bit bigger. I feel like if I had like a size 9 foot, it would be great, but I got a 10, and it's just not, it's too much. But I've never. I need to fly. Ugh, I need to try some Flex PLA. I think that would be awesome. And is the melt temperature is close? It's like regular PLA temperature, right? Um, or is it like TPU temps? Oh my God! And I was in my garage the other day cleaning up stuff, and I found um, a shoe and a hand that I did. A 3PO hand and 3PO shoe that I did out of TPU on my CR10S5, which is really, it's got a Bowden extruder and all this stuff. So it's like um, not, you know, the best for TPU, but it totally worked. But I got a lot of stringing of the TPU, I think just because I was using such a big nozzle. And I might change my CR10 or my CRM4 to a 0.6 millimeter nozzle, which is still considerably faster than a point 0.4, but a little bit better detail. And the CRM4 is direct drive, so I feel like TPU, it should work decently. I say it should because when I did that costume for Masked Singer, I printed the hands out of TPU, and it was like the first one came out beautiful, looked so good, and then they started to come out shitty. And I think that now I'm pretty sure that the problem was that one of my cams that tightens up the little printer assembly, the extruder kind of head, the gantry piece, whatever that's called. Um, One of the little cam wheels on the back had loosened up, and so the thing would rock. Would get like janky print layers, and I'm almost positive that's went wrong with some of those things for Mass Singer and my shorts, those TPU shorts that I made. So, hold on a second. I have a heat vent above my desk right here, and it's not fully screwed down, and it makes the strangest little hum, and I always think it's my computer messing up. But no. But yeah, so yeah, Flex TPU is on my list of things to try. I've never used it. And then I broke out my I have the resin printers. I have a Piapoli Phenom, which is a few years old now, but it still does a good job. And I haven't used it for almost anything. I kind of want to print some resin, like full arms, out of that tenacious resin, which has got a lot of flex to it, and it's pretty impact resistant. And I'm just curious to see how that would come out. And I feel like the print area of that is big enough that I could do the arm parts. And think that would be good. Let's go do another track here. Change track. Which one was I on? Street League Church. Roman Ripping Jungle. Cube Madness. Snowblower. I feel like they haven't added any new ones. Wooden City. I think I remember this one. So, wow, look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, this is another one that's missing some of the. It's like the textures are missing off some of the geometry. Wow, that's pretty cool. Um, that's pretty neat. So yeah, uh, want to do the redo of most of the suit, and then there's a lot of stuff on my I guess my voice, a lot of stuff on my suit that I really like a lot, and with my torso, for example, it's fiberglass, and it's cast from, it's like one generation away from a real suit, and the detail is very, very, very good, and it's just super, super accurate, and I really, really like that a lot. But I have on my suit back there in the corner over there. Um, there are 3D elements that are integrated into the suit, like into the 3D parts, like the shoulder, kind of like the what do you call it? The little tabs that hook into the shoulder rings. Those are 3D printed, but they're fiberglassed in, and they're cut to fit. The neck is 3D printed. The belly circle in the middle is all 3D printed, and it matches like the castings I have the real one in there, and it's it's fine, but it has like a little warp in it, which I have some interesting stories. I interesting to me being a dork on this stuff. Pretty interesting lineage things about that and all of the like costume parts that have been around all over the place. So, like there's a lot of relation to them, even though some of them are drastically different from each other. They're all kind of related in a way. But there's like a warp in one of the parts, which I think was something that happened when they molded it. So to fix it, it kind of like affected that belly ring in the middle of the disc. So I remodeled that and I printed it, but it is like spot on, perfect match to the original one. I got like the knurling detail and everything is like counted because I'm a psycho, and I counted like how many knurls are around the thing and how was the pattern spacing look like, and matched it really carefully. Boogers. And so that is I like all that. And with the fiberglass, it's when you take a casting, it takes a lot of cleanup to do a piece because my mold is the one that's right off of the first generation casting I have. And I've never done like a cleaned up version and then remolded it properly, which is what I really should do is like perfect it the way I like it and then mold that. And now I got a mold already done and just ready to go whenever I take a casting. But I never really wanted to sell them to other people. So to go through all the trouble to make something repeatable. I mean, it's like $1,800 worth of materials and to just to make that. I'm like, I could just do one. I want to make a flex peel or either. But yeah. So anyway, that's like that is kind of the deal. And now if I could get my full 3D printed torso to really match, like truly match my fiberglass torso to the point where if I'm like got them next to each other, it's hard to tell them apart. I'd be really happy about that, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. I've been doing cleanup on my torso scan. Oops. And I kind of have this debate with myself on like, how do I set this up? I'll probably end up doing multiple versions again anyway, but it's like, how do I? Oh, look at this creepy tree. Um, how do I set this up to print? Do I do a front and a back, separate pieces with all the tabs integrated, or do I do it like my fiberglass one, where I basically built the tabs in after I fiberglass the two halves, and I literally attached the two halves together to make sure everything was like shaped right because over time like the pieces have had slight warps to them and stuff, so you have to do some finagling to get them to like basically what I have to do is make a thin casting from my mold that's thin enough that has a little flex to it. And then I basically clamp everything together and fiberglass the front and the back together to make sure it's all lined up perfectly. Then I put in the shoulder pieces, which again are 3D printed, like replacements for the shoulders. I get also measured exactly the size of the original suit. All that stuff is, the perfect match. They're just the shape is now clean and not warpy and weird. And then I basically clamp that in, fiberglass that all together, and then I hook it, attach the neck, make sure the neck is all lined up where it's supposed to be, and then I will basically temporarily cut through the sides where the suit opens, and then I tape the insides the opposing parts to where the overlapping tab on the side goes, so that when I make the tabs that hold the suit together, they are they fit perfectly inside. That's basically how I've done all my versions I've done with my molds. It takes like a lot of work. So when people ask me, I'm like, are you making are you gonna make a display or are you gonna make a costume? If they're doing costume stuff, I'm like, it's like a ton of work. They don't understand to do it that way. It sort of sucks. And again, if I was doing more of them or that was my thing, I would probably make new molds where I wouldn't have to do all of that each time. But the 3D printing thing has kind of changed the game because it makes it's easier and cheaper for someone to just print one than to hire me to make one. And then it just comes down to that thing of whether it's, you know, more accurate or not, and how much more accurate if they care, you know, because like Jesse's files look great, and they're not perfect, but they look really, 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 really good. I mean, they're, you know, more accurate than any of the other fan stuff that had been out up to that point by a lot. And you know, I will have people write me and they want pieces, and they're like, "Is this, you know, the lineage of this part and this and that?" And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Can you tell what it is? Like, if I show you a part, do you know what film it's from? Like, if I just flash it to you, you see this?" If they don't know, I'm like, "How are you going to really know if I'm telling you this?" I feel like they didn't pass the test. They don't pass the test. The 3PO builder test. Hold on a second. I don't know. I don't know if he's not been typing or if my chat is frozen. Probably nobody's been typing, and that is okay. I feel like I need to lock into this voice whenever I need it. I can get into this Optimus Prime. I'm not quite low enough. Not quite low enough for Optimus Prime, but it feels like it in my head. Autobots, roll out. I can never get there with when I'm not sick. So, oh shoot, where am I going? This level is interesting, but not as interesting as that little church level. There's a lot of cool stuff to fly around. Oh, crashing immediately. Perfect. Well, I've made it almost an hour. 8:47. No. Trying to think what else is going on. Monday, I go meet with Corridor Crew, which was supposed to happen today. I was supposed to go in and like review our cool video that we made with the Corridor Crew guys, and I thankfully they rescheduled it because like the VFX side of the shoot isn't done yet, and so when we review the effects, they want us to like get our, you know, our genuine reaction when we see everything put together, and they're doing our practical effect and their VFX version of the effect. And then I am under the impression they're going to do some like blended version of where they took like our shot and their stuff and kind of combine them to get the best of both worlds. And anyway, we're supposed to look at that. They said the VFX isn't going to be done in time, and asked if we could come in Monday instead of Thursday. And everybody was like, "Yes, we can do that." And I'm freaking glad because listen to my voice. Listen to my voice. I really do wish I could get into this range, though. Not that I want to be in this range all the time, but I wish that I could just switch over to this kind of mode when I speak. I like this part of my voice. It's fun. I don't know if it sounds any good, but it's fun for me. And I feel like there's got to be some kind of exercises I can do to make that happen more. To make it more interesting. Welcome to Movie Phone. Oh, shoot. And yeah, off we go. And there's like the Inland Empire convention. Inland Empire Strikes Back this weekend. They got like, it's like all Star Wars themed stuff. And I would go. I kind of wanted to go check it out, but it's a little bit far. And it was another one of those things. I was like, if I can get like an invite and come over, I would love to do a panel or something. But I don't know. I'm not special enough, which is okay. But it'd be cool if I was. I like talking on panels. It's fun, especially if it's something, you know, real cool and interesting. Oh yeah, and a thing I was gonna. Oh, that was a bad flip. That's like when people crash their planes. See the stunt guys doing stuff. Gordon, Batman voice. I'm Batman. What is the Lego Batman? First try. First try. Where is he? I could, if I could play into this, it would be great. I feel like I need to do a bunch of like vocal exercises while it's like this to try to get it more permanent. I have to lock my vocal cords in a lower position. See how that goes. It'll be real cool. It's like I can go into a whole range that I really can't even get into ever normally. It's awesome. And then I can practice speaking like this all the time. In all of my videos while I fly my drone, I'll speak just like this. And people will be like, you need chamomile tea. The best. Best chamomile tea around. What the hell was I talking about? Well, I got sidetracked thinking about like I did this maneuver, like one of these rolly maneuvers, and it's kind of the same thing when you see a plane or when it does a roll, and when it gets to a certain point on its side, it kind of is like sliding a little bit sideways through the air, and I feel like the drone does the same thing. So if I go up, look, oh my god, I didn't crash just now. That's amazing. Like to, let me find a good thing to roll over this. Let's go over this way. Like you kind of come up and then you go, but when you hit that like just over the top part, oh, see that? You kind of get diagonal and start to crash and everything. But yeah, anyway, do the voice exercises, then maybe they'll want me on more panels if I sound cooler. If my voice is more interesting, I'll get invited more places. I mean, what if I just switched over and this became my normal speaking voice all the time? I just only spoke like this. And people would watch my old videos and wonder, wow, when did his voice change? It's so much cooler now. He sounds like he has more authority on whatever topic. In a world where one drone pilot holds the fate of the universe in his hands. Oh yeah, oh my god, that movie voice guy. If I could do that all the time, it would be great. I feel like I can almost get there with a little bit of practice and a sick voice. I can be the movie announcer guy. Movie announcer guy 2.0. Yeah, it feels different. Like it just resonates differently. It feels cool, but again, I need to speak with more clarity. I don't want to mumble my words together. I have to slow down a little bit, probably. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. In a world. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. I could just like take over that guy's channel. You meet people at this guy, Gary Archer, that did my teeth the other on Sunday. The last time I was on, I'd done a makeup for Richard Redlifson and Hope, and this guy Gary Archer did the teeth. He's got like a British accent and a really like amazing booming low voice. And I was like, dude, you should be on radio or something. Your voice is crazy. He goes, yeah, yes, people have told me that. It's just, like really, really nice guy. And he's done. I think I said this last time. I went to get my teeth molded at his shop, and he has like just the craziest famous people teeth like everywhere. The like boxes of all the people's teeth that he's cast. And some of the people are like dead now. Like Robin Williams, like multiple sets of Robin Williams teeth. Jared Leto. I mean, freaking everybody. What's his name that played Borat? Who else did he do? He had like so many famous people. Like if you said their names, there's a good chance he had their teeth there. I took a photo of one of the shells with teeth, and there's just like dozens of very famous people's names in there. It's crazy. Um, anyway, I don't know where the hell I was going with that. Yeah, the guy who did my makeup, Richard Redliston, did my makeup on Sunday. He's got like an Emmy sitting in his room, and then in one day I'd gone to like a shop where basically they're kind of interviewing me for something, and I went over to Richard's house, and both those people had Emmys. Like, I was like, I saw two Emmys in one day just at people's just on their shelves, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And now I know like 4 or 5 people, and I'm like, okay, are they easy to get, or am I just like finally like just hanging out with the coolest people? I don't know what the deal is. Like the meeting very talented folks. I'm pretty sure my friend Fawn just got one the other day too. For I don't know what he got it for. I have to check and see. But that dude's worked on everything. He's super talented. Oh, bouncing off the walls. Love it. 8:57. Oh my God, you guys, this hour's gone by quick. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, look at this building over here. Did I even explore this one? Some of these places on this simulator, it can be very hard to tell what if you turn too quick. It's very hard to tell what direction you're facing. Like even if it's up or down or anything, and when it's like this lattice work kind of thing, like this structure here. Let's go inside. Oh, if I cannot crash. Oh my God. I didn't crash somehow. But it looks like the inside of it is just like stuff everywhere. It's crazy. It's crazy. Alright, let's see. Flying down. And crash immediately. Perfect. But yeah, the 3PO stuff, I'm gonna basically make another suit, and I really want to do the ultra lumen finish on it and see if I can get a passable chrome with the ultra lumen, because it's really good and it's really close, and I just need to figure out if there's any little tricks that make it that much easier. And I saw like just getting like the tent. The main thing for me is getting the tent to lay down without damaging the metal. And some of their samples that they did look great, but he's like, you got to kind of bake the parts, and they don't seem like they have to be baked at a temperature that would melt the plastic or anything. But you need like at bare minimum like a box with like a heater at one end where it's got to sit for like a day before you can really properly do a clear coat on it, like a good, you know, 2K clear. I feel like once that step is like really nailed down and I figure that out, it's gonna be awesome. Because like the stuff that I did when it was coming out right looked, I mean, really close to spray chrome. We're talking like 96, 97% quality, you know, for it up to next to spray chrome. And if I can get that with Ultra Lumen, that will be a big game changer. It'll make life much easier. Again, I'll probably still spray chrome, you know, things, but I don't know. And if you look at 3PO in just about any film, he's not perfectly crazy shiny, and the shiniest is like not so bad. So anyway, that's that. No. Okay, I'm inside the lattice work. I gotta go freaking figure out my drone test. I gotta take this thing on. I'm trying not to get distracted from it. I gotta print out my study guide and just go through it one last time. I think I'm gonna read the study guide on video and post it so that I can. That'll just help me like forced me to like properly read it through, and maybe I'll like read it and then comment on all the sections as I go. I think that'll help me remember it, and then maybe, squeaky voice, maybe it'll help other people that are trying to do it as well. They can just listen to it like an audiobook, especially if I have my cool voice. Um, but I have all the pieces, the tabs open here, so maybe I'll just open the PDF and read through it, and then just put it online, and then who knows, someone might just have, again, you could put it in the background and listen to all the things. There's a lot of stuff that I think requires looking at the pages, because there's maps and so forth with like different indicators on like different, there's like a dash circle, and then like a solid lines, and then circles, and then a dot dash dot line to circle, and they have like different meanings for what kind of altitudes you can fly and what kind of air traffic is going on in those spaces, and you have to know all this stuff. And it's not bad. I just want to like know it. When I look at it, I'm like, okay, I can't think I can remember this, but I feel nervous about it. Like I'm gonna mess it up. So I feel like I just need to know it like 100%. So whatever they ask me, I just know it, or understand it. Because I think that's the thing too, is that they'll ask questions that are phrased in a way to show whether you actually understand. It's more than just memorizing the things. You gotta like know why a thing is the way it is. Just say, "I'm Batman. I'm Batman." I think it works pretty good. Oh my god, guys! All right, it's 9:02. I am gonna log off now because my voice is so freaking crazy. I don't want to trust it. The trust exam. Yeah, no, yeah. They want to trust that the for the Part 107 drone exam. To get my drone certificate, I need to. Yeah, I just need to get that thing down. And I was reading a lot, maybe like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. Up to 3 weeks ago, I'd been reading a bunch and going through the stuff, and then I kind of like got busy and sort of slacked off on it. And now I'm like, oh, do I really know this stuff? So I'm gonna print it out and bring it with me so I can like go over it. And then, like I said, I'm gonna read it, and we'll see how it goes. And then, what is today? The hell is Saturday? Today's Thursday. Saturday I should be back on, but it might be kind of late because I'm doing a 3PO thing, and it doesn't start until like 9 o'clock. And I think I'm supposed to be in the suit from 9 to 10. And maybe this is a higher level you're talking about. No, I don't. Oh, for the FAA trust for drone pods. The trust. Oh yeah, I don't know if that's the one. It's all I know is it's called Part 107. It's like there's and maybe that's what it is. The Part 107 is is like the study guide that you're supposed to go through. It might be called that. I don't know if that's what it's called. Like on the other end. Um, Maybe there's a higher level you're talking about. No, I don't know. I have no idea. There's literally only one actual course that I know about, and it's basically flying whatever drones commercially up to 50 pounds, not 50 pounds and over. Like apparently that's the thing, and like a trick question I'll get you on. Like, is it this to this, or is it this to this? And if you say it's 0 to 50 pounds, it's actually under 50 pounds. So a little trick. Took that one with their free training. Interesting. Made it so easy. That's cool. Um, yeah, I have to see. I hear like these mixed things. Like some people like, yeah, the course was, or the test was there. My voice, yeah, the test was super easy. And then I hear other people like, oh my god, this whole part was so freaking tricky. I don't know how to do it. So I'm nervous because the one that I'm doing is like 170 something dollars, which is great. I don't mind paying it if I get a certificate. And apparently, a certificate's good for like a long time. I don't know if you have to go back and redo it, but um, if you fail it, you lose your money. You got to take it again. So I don't want to fail it. I don't want to throw $170 to the wind. I could put $170 into getting like drone parts. I'd rather do that. Um, but anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I can feel my voice starting to get a little freaking. I was testing it too much, doing the Batman voice. I'm Batman. Anyway, all right, kids, I'm getting out of here. I'll be back probably Saturday late at night. So you guys might not be awake, but um, we'll see how it goes. And yeah, maybe I'll read. If maybe if I can keep my voice like this, I'll read the what do you call it? The training manual for the test on YouTube Live. We'll see. All right, kids. Good night. I'll see you later. Thanks for